little thing is going a bit weird. No, I've got some packages. So, I've been saving them up, or to an extent. I'm hoping, keeping on my mic. I've tried making a video last week and the sound was screwed. So fingers crossed. It's not this time. But yeah, I've got some packages. I've already filmed a chunk of this. I've already opened 3 because I came last week, and I showed restraint and sort of held on until I'd had a decent chunk. But then I've got 2 more. But my self-control only goes so far because I've already opened one of them. But I knew there was a 5th one coming. 4 of these are basically sort of sight unseen, so there's an element of risk. The last one, which I think is at the end, is a fairly significant eBay purchase. So there's less risk in that. I know what I'm getting. Sorry, just move me. I know what I'm getting with that one. So there's not so much risk in that, but it's fairly significant. All of them, I think there's an element of risk and gamble, but good because of the price. The price was sort of worth the gamble. So I've got obviously 1 from eBay, like I said, 2 from that funny Amazon seller who works out of the States and only ships to the UK. Weird, but I've done all right by them in the past. So I think the risk is fairly, lessened. 1 from World of Books, and they're always, solid. And 1, I'm probably a glutton for punishment, but 1, a 3rd, a 4th one from Momox. I'm just going to move you this way, away from the. Do that. That's a bit better. I feel like I'm sitting in a weird position now. But away. Anyway, yeah. So one of them's from Momox. The only one that's not open because the other one's already opened. So no self-control. This one came this morning. I'm quite keen to open it. It feels a little bit light. I'm going to pretend that I've not opened the other one. I'm just going to, pretend and sort of like, act. But yeah, so they're all good stuff, by the way. This is top-notch stuff. As far, it's my own opinion, but I think this is really good stuff. Price is at least half, I think. Maybe sort of 2/3 of 40%, no, 55, 60%, maybe something like that. But prices are generally worth the risk. So this is the first one. This is from Momox. Come from Germany, I think. I still don't have had my refund from that time before with that copy of the Cowabunga collection on PS5. I don't know what's going on with that. But this one feels light. Cross your fingers. It's got Jesus Christ. Cross your fingers that it's got the manual. But it's a PS2 game, and ever since I got my modded PS2, I've been sort of trying to build up my catalogue of import PS1 and PS2 games, and this is one of them. And it's looking all right on the outside. This was a bargain via Amazon. I've perfected. I've sort of moulded my tactic. Basically, go into your browsing history on Amazon, and everything you've looked at, just scroll through that, so you don't have to go into the actual pages of each item. It just has the best price right there, and then just scroll and scroll and scroll. And this is the fruits of one of those. Like I said, it's feeling a bit light. It is for. I think this is probably about a £40 game, but would have been cheaper in America. It's an American game, but if I wanted to import this, obviously with import fees and cost of shipping, it would have been a lot more. And so I think it came to about £17.50, something like that in total. So, which is definitely cheaper than I've ever seen it as far as being a UK buyer. But it's a PS2 game, and it is Radiator Stories. PS2 RPG. I think it's essentially like a Tales game, that sort of real time combat. You can hear that there's a bit of a rattle, which makes me think that the disc hasn't got anything sort of pressing it down, as in a manual. Cross your fingers. It feels like fuck you, Momox. I bet the disc is fucked as well. What was the chances of me sourcing a manual for this? Slim. No, disc's fine. Disc's fine. No manual. I might just have to suck it up. But Jesus, keep an eye out for another one. I mean, I've been looking for manuals for sort of power games for years and had no luck. This is even less likely, but 17 something. It's not bad, but would have been better if it had a manual. But yeah, I think it's like a Tales-like game. Obviously, slightly disappointed. Right, let's get rid of that. This one's already open. I've already looked at it because, like I said, self-control. This one's from the Amazon seller from the States who only sells to the UK. And I'm going to pretend that I haven't already seen it. So let's get it out. Again, this is another massive bargain. Came from my tactic of scrolling through my browsing history on Amazon. And let's pretend. Look at this. Looks good. Looking good. And this is essentially like the PS1 equivalent of Zelda: Link to the Past that isn't Alundra, but it's a US only PS1 game. So that's pissed me off. Let me just check the sound. Yeah, I'm just a bit paranoid that the sound's fucking up, and I've no way of knowing until I watch it all back. But anyway, well, let's pretend. This looks good. Yeah, it's Brave Fencer Musashi. This was like the others. I can't remember what they're called. I'm not going to tell you because you can probably find them. I think certain games of a certain level, like this, collectible ones, they just have a flat out 50 quid or 49.99 price. And this was the same with a bit of postage on top, not a lot, about 3 quid. And 3 or 4 quid, yeah. And so this was 54 quid in total, which I think is a really, really good price. Maybe not quite half, I don't know. I think there are plenty that go for sort of like 80 or 90, but I think most are over 100, so maybe round about half. But yeah, bit of a bargain this is. Like I said, I've put it in the bracket with Alundra, probably more like Alundra 2 because it uses polygons. So, but yeah, let's see if you can see the back. And let's pretend that I haven't seen it on the inside. It's meant to have a demo disc in it. So there's the game disc. Yeah, it has got a demo disc with it's a Squaresoft demo disc with Final Fantasy 8 on it. I'm confusing it with something else. And really nice looking manual. The only sort of a bit of a crack on the back and a slightly damaged case there. So yeah, not bad actually. Chuffed with that. Not so chuffed with that. Anybody, slim chance, anybody's got a manual for Radiator Stories, get in touch. Right, I've already recorded a bit of this, so I'm gonna move on to that now. And so cue me looking even more homeless than I do now. Hello. Parcels. I've got 3 of them. I'm guessing you might have already seen a bit of a pickups video already. Hopefully. And I thought I'd tack these on the end. There's some good stuff in here, proper good stuff. Some not like sort of crazy bargains, but they're all really well priced. Things I had to shell out for to a certain degree, but they're all sort of significantly under like eBay value. I think one of them is actually. No, two of them are. One of them's sort of, I'll get to it. I've been good actually. I've been saving these up. I've been really good. This is a couple. I think one of these I've had for a couple of days, and I knew they were all coming, so I wanted to do them all together. So excited. Right. Yeah, I've got them over there. That's why I keep looking at. One. Yeah, one's from World of Books. Actually, two of them are sight unseen. One's from World of Books. One of them's from that same Amazon Marketplace vendor that I've bought from before. That's in America that only sells to the UK. Sorry, a bit dirt on the screen. And the other one's just a straight up eBay purchase, which I've had my eye on for a long time. The price kept going up and down. The seller was sort of like kept like putting the price started okay, but then it just sort of they kept knocking it down every couple of days, and then it went back up, and then it came back down again. And in the end, I think it's sort of a birthday present to myself, and I was a little bit drunk when I actually ended up sort of committing to it. So it's a bit of an excuse. Yeah, but the first two, like I said, are sight unseen. They're sort of gambles, so to speak. But so a bit more drama. The last one, I know the condition it's in because as far as I can see, it's she was a good eBay seller, so who knew their shit about taking responsibility for pictures and stuff. But yeah, the first one, this is the World of Books. I'm keeping my address away. This is one that I've already opened the packages, by the way. Not fully opened, just sort of cut them so I didn't have to fart around too much. This was one that is sort of completes a trilogy for me. I might be giving it away, but one of these games in the trilogy was bought from that same, if you can remember back, if anybody cares, from that same Amazon seller in the US. And this one came from World of Books, obviously, but this one completes the trilogy. It's a trilogy of PS2 RPGs. Only the middle one was ever released in the UK, which is a massive giveaway for anybody who knows their shit about our PS2 RPGs. The third one I got a few months back, or last year, and I've been sort of keeping an eye out for this one, and generally it goes for sort of the eBay sellers are asking too much, and this one popped up, and essentially it's basically about the eBay value if I was buying it in America, but obviously because I'd have to ship to the UK, it would have cost me sort of like a whole load more on top. And this one was in the UK, and it's free shipping from World of Books. And this is the first I'm going to have a proper look at it. Hopefully, it's complete and in good nick. And first look, it looks pretty good. It is Xenosaga, the original. This is the cheapest by a long way. I think the American Xenosaga 2 actually goes for a decent amount. It's not massively expensive in this country, but this one's the cheapest by a long way, and it looks in pretty good nick. It's a 2-discer, it should be, and it feels pretty weighty. So this was $23.99. Yeah, which is around about the value if you're in America buying it to ship to America, because obviously in the UK, I'll be shipping to the UK, probably paying about a tenner on top. So this is actually works out as a bit of a bargain for a UK buyer. And looking inside, well, it's not a 2-discer, it's a 1-discer. What do I know? I hope it's a 1-discer, because there is only one disc. I thought it was a 2-discer. I'm going to have to look that up. It doesn't. Does it say? It doesn't say disc 1 of 2. I could have sworn it's a 2-discer. Oh, balls. Anyway, I think this is okay. If it is a 2-discer, it's missing a disc. There you go. It's missing a disc, but I'll probably put in a little thing to say whether or not it's okay or not. But condition-wise, actually, let's have a quick butchers at the disc. Condition-wise, that's pretty much as far as I can see in this light. It's a good 8 out of 10. So fingers crossed, that's a win so far. I could have sworn it's a 2-discer. Maybe it was a soundtrack. Don't know. What knows? Anyway, right, on to number 2. Right, yeah, this is came from the US, from that Amazon seller. Weird charity one that only sells in the UK. Every now and again, like I said, I've got a whole list of Amazon items, and going a while, sort of like a few months ago, maybe before Christmas, I don't know. Amazon changed their system and got rid of the little, sort of the prices on the exterior of the listings, the pages. So you actually had to go into the page, and it screwed up my system. But I found a new system where if you go to your browsing history, they will have the prices on the outside, just on the thumbnail, so you can just scroll through and look at the prices, the cheapest prices. So that's basically saved my bacon. It's just slightly reconfigured. So because I'd done all right out of it up to that point, and it was doing my nut in, like the fact that I kept having to go into the pages, because it was it basically slowed the system right down. But I worked it out, I sorted it out, and now it's pretty much working how it was. So this is the first thing. I thought I was watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. That's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Oh, anyway, yeah. This is the first purchase I've had now, ever since I sorted it out. Ever since that, basically you scroll down. If you see a good price, you have a look, and then bingo, yeah. And this is a PS1 game. It's oh yeah, looks good. What are they called? They're called sort of the Californian Charity for Providing Work for Adults with Special Needs. I think that's what they're called. And they seem to have sort of blanket prices on certain things. And everything I've bought for them has been $49.99 plus about $3.99 postage. And I think this works out as a good price. It's a shooter. It's a PS1 shooter, and it looks in pretty good nick. It's Thunder Force 5. It's a working designs game, which sort of elevates its light, because I know they're pretty sought after. Thunder Force 5. Thunder Force games on the Mega Drive are sort of particularly some of Thunder Force 4 is one of my favourites, and it just seemed logical to sort of continue on that, going after the little crack in the case, but who cares? Going after the rest of the series. No, I don't know. That's smell smoke, don't I? Yeah, so this was $53.99 all in. Again, like all of these are all pretty much birthday presents, because my birthday back in May, and I hadn't really bought myself much. Just the odd like PS4, PS5 game, but yeah, Thunder Force 5. I think the Japanese version may be a bit cheap. I couldn't say that for certain, but I think this is I've seen this go for around about 50 quid. Equivalent of, but I think generally it's nearer the 100, so it works out as a good price. Inside looks really shiny, and it's a nice sort of a iridescent. Look at that. It's discs there. Disc looks, not you're going to see it, looks perfect. and I think that's another win for me, give or take the odd crack on the case. But I can deal with that. So yeah, I think those are the two sight unseen ones. If this one, something tells me it's a 2-discer, maybe like a soundtrack disc. I don't know. I might have to just suck it up or source a spare disc out somewhere. So these are two sight unseen games, and so far, unless I can prove otherwise with this, they've been two wins. So chuffed with an asterisk, and this one, the big boy, this is even more of a move the crap out of the way, even more of a birthday present to myself, because like I said, it's fairly significant purchase, sort of probably equals the most I've ever spent on a game. I'm not going to say how much it was because I'm a little bit ashamed, but I think I've got a bargain, which helps me justify it. It helps me feel better about it. And yeah, and like I said, the seller initially listed it, and I think on her listings she was saying how I'm having a big clear out, and then it seemed that way because she kept dropping the price, and it got really low, and I was thinking, shall I put an offer in, because she was accepting offers, and I was about to, then it sort of jacked the price right up. I was sort of really umming and ahhing, and then the price kept coming down again, and no one was biting. And I was thinking, shall I? And I was holding off because it's a significant purchase, but still an actual bargain for what it is. And I was thinking, would I be disappointed if it wasn't there? Again, it's the fear of missing out, isn't it? It's a fucking killer. And I thought I probably would. And then I had a couple of beers one Saturday night, I think it was. And that just sort of oiled the cogs slightly. And I put in an offer, and I think it was rejected. It wasn't countered, it was just rejected. In the end, I put in an offer pretty much close to the asking price, and it was accepted with a little bit of a hassle, because there was a little glitch on eBay, and eBay said I'd paid and I hadn't, and I don't know what the fuck was going on there. It was just really weird. And I was sort of panicking because it took a while to sort itself out. And I'm someone who likes to pay straight away. I don't like to have sort of sellers hanging around, because I think that's a bit. I know it pisses me off when it happens, so I don't like to do it myself. And it was some weird glitch that eBay said I'd paid. I thought, I haven't bought anything on eBay for a while. Have they changed the system where they pay automatically or something? I don't know, but. Apparently not. Eventually it sorted itself out, like a couple of hours later, and I'd already emailed the seller to see if they'd actually got payment, because it said I'd paid them, and I as far as I was concerned, I hadn't. But she said that there was sort of confirmation that I paid, but nothing in pending. Like, it was weird. I don't know what I was going on. In the end, I was eventually able to pay. And I did, and it did make me think. I think she'd listed it wrongly slightly, because this is a sequel, again, a bit of a clue, to one of the games that I bought via Amazon. I got a big bargain, so this is the second in a series. So again, that I sort of felt obliged to complete the pair. For the sort of feeling of completion. I'm not a completionist by any stretch of the imagination. I don't buy full sets, but I might buy 2 of a series if there are only 2 in it. And so big box, got a nice little receipt. It says thank you on it, and let's show you how it looks. It's pretty heavy, actually, to be honest. That's slightly misleading. I think she's just used a massive box. So I'm going to get all this crap out. I said I haven't looked at it. I literally just opened it. Looking good. Absolutely looking good. To be honest, I know pretty much what it is, because the pictures are really good. It's pretty heavy, actually. Yeah, a PS1 RPG, American PS1 RPG, because I've pretty much got all of the PAL ones. This is an American one. The sequel to the one that I bought last year, I think it was. Again, there's another clue. One that came from the States from that same Amazon seller. If anybody remembers, or anybody cares to remember, I won't blame if you didn't. But it's a sequel to that game anyway. And it's looking pretty good. You see that? It's Luna 2, Eternal Blue. Nicely packaged. Lovely bit of packaging there, like lots of bubble wrap, which will be reflected in her feedback. So yeah, can I get into it? It's going to take scissors. So I've got scissors. I find it really difficult when I'm opening stuff like this not to show the exertion on my face. If I'm like, your face tenses. So if I was ever like an actor and had to fire a gun, I'd definitely be one of those people who blinks when they fire the gun. You ever noticed that? Apparently, according to the bloke who looks after the firearms in Hollywood, there's only a handful of actors who can actually fire a gun, fire one of the fake guns without blinking. One of them was Clint Eastwood. So keep an eye on that. Next time someone fires a gun in a film, keep a look at their eyes. Don't know why I had to say that, but I'm just about the exertion showing on your face. I can't open a bag without it showing. So let's have a look. It looks in really nice nick. It was meant to be complete. That was one of the reasons why I went with it, because it was meant to have all its bits, including the pendant and all this other random paraphernalia that is meant to come with it. It's probably in better nick than the first game that I got, which was also complete. Another Working Designs game. So now I've inadvertently got a collection of 3 Working Designs games, which I know how much they cost. So that's not going to lead to a full collection, because that would be nuts. But I can make do with the odd one or two. But yeah, what's it meant to come with? I think if it's complete, it comes with significant, it affects the price quite significantly. I mean, there's all these random bits like a map and these funny little card things and a pendant. And I'll get it all out. Fuck it. Obviously, I've got to get it out. And a book, a soundtrack, yeah. A manual, some sort of random hardback thing. That's the manual. Looks in really nice nick. That's the manual. There isn't a manual that comes in the box. If you buy the game simply on its own, weird way of saying it. If you buy the game on its own, I might upload it on its own because it's already 20 minutes. Or I think actually, to be honest, I'm hoping that if there is is tacked onto a pickups video, that would already been short, because I was planning on making a shorter one. So, yeah. So there's no actual manual in the case where the game comes. I think they generally go for significantly cheaper if it's just the basic game with the case, because there's no manual or anything else. All the paraphernalia is where the cost lies. And this looks in really nice nick as well. There you go, it's the game. Oh, she hasn't put bubble wrap on the inside. That's a demerit. No, it's not. I don't care. It's got it all right. This one's got all its discs, and I'm hoping that Xenosar has as well. And there's this weird box. I think all the business comes in here. All the weird shit comes in here. So look, there's a pendant comes in this little bag. There's a map. All these funny little bits. All these card stand things with characters on them. And it's what's it called? A marquee box. And there's that. And then the soundtrack, I think that's everything. That's everything that should. I don't think there's anything else that comes in there, and it all looks in really nice nick. I'm not going to check the discs because I think everything else is in such good nick. I'll check them off screen, and then have words if they're rough. But I trust this eBay seller. So yeah, not too shabby, I think, as long as Xenosaga isn't missing a disc. But you'll probably know by now because I would have checked it and put a little note on the screen. So, oh yeah, pretty chuffed, I think. Hopefully, yeah, not bad. I would have gone to the most recent London gaming market, but I'd already shelled out for this. I think this one. I reckon I paid about half the value. I reckon half price because they can go for big bucks. You know, idiots. Well, not idiots. No, scrap that. Not idiots. People will have paid quite a lot for as long as it's complete. And as far as I know, it is complete. But I think I got it for the equivalent as if it was just the game on its own, I think. So yeah, I'm pretty chuffed, and it was a birthday present as well. So. And I was drunk when I bought it, but yeah. Right, I'm gonna let you go. Thanks for watching, and look out for another video. Yeah, cheers. See you later.